Hey guys, welcome to my channel called Outrun the Neon Sun. Now, this is a little bit of a rebranding. I used to be called Poprocks Podcast, but it just makes more sense to rename this since I'm no longer doing the podcast on here with my buddy. But I'm in the process of rebranding it itself. Now, this video itself is all about why you should, I think, at least attempt to mod and modify your Arcade 1-Up cabinet with a Pandora's box from DIY Retro Arcade. They make it super simple, super easy. Now, this is an amazing company, and there's been so many videos out there on how to mod your actual cabinet. So this isn't necessarily a step-by-step on why or how to do it. This is just kind of explaining to you what I did and then why I did it. So a little bit about DIY Retro Arcade. Now, this company is truly amazing. They worked with me. I sent them text messages. I sent them emails kind of going like, I don't think it fits. And because I screwed up royally, like I said, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, and that's okay. But it's just an amazing company. And so what I did is I went onto their website and I ordered a kit for what I thought was Gen 1 and Gen 2. Turns out it wasn't, but we'll move on. So because I didn't order the right one, because like I said many times, I don't claim to be the sharpest tool in the shed, I had to call in a favor or phone a friend. You guys remember that show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Well, my friend happened to be a local here by the name of B. Kong from Kong's R Us. And after work, he came over to my office and he's like, I could see the sigh almost in his eyes when he looked at the back of my cabinet and all that I'd done. He's like, seriously? I mean, he appreciated the deck that I had actually made out of wood, but everything else I could tell he was probably like, this is amateur hour. And like I said, I am kind of like a Padawan, and he's like the Jedi Master. So if you actually want to know how to mod things expertly, go to his channel, please. So the reason why I had him come over is because I had installed an amplifier. Now, I wanted to have really, really good sound for this new arcade that I was modding. And in the amplifier, it was pretty cool because all you need to do is insert the stereo speaker wires into the actual amplifier, and it just makes it so much better. And what I thought was interesting about B, he's like, you need to put the amplifier on top of the actual arcade cabinet so that you can easily reach the volume. I'm a little lazy, so I just kind of put it inside. But he basically said you needed to have extended wires going into the amplifier, and then you needed to get a 3.5-inch jack that separated into the audio, like the two components for the audio. So I needed to get that cord. Once I had that, I was all set. And then we hooked it all up. And he's like, well, we're kind of hanging out a little bit, kind of talking some not trash at all. He's not like that. But he's like, hey, you want to play Street Fighter 2 on your other cabinet? And I was like, no. Not really, because you're like the best in kind of those type of games. I know he's got like ranked or something like that for Marvel vs. Capcom 1. So I was like, okay, all right, I kind of feel like I have to because, it's my arcade up here and you came here graciously and you didn't get the beer that I promised you because it was in the fridge and we forgot to get it out. So we played Street Fighter 2. I chose Chun-Li, he chose E Honda. And this is my only claim to fame. B, if you're watching this, thank you for graciously losing to me those first 2 rounds, because the second 2 rounds that you just destroyed me in E Honda made me want more. And so I do want to say a little rematch is in order, and I'll have more beers for you next time. Hopefully, I'll have you drink 7 or 8 beers before to my one, so that our reaction time can be about the same. That's all I'm asking. So have you guys done any research on Pandora's boxes? I'm sure you probably have if you're in the arcade community. You probably know a lot about it. They come with like 3,000 games, and it's pretty amazing little piece of machinery that we got, technology, that we can play some of these retro games and a lot of the fighter games on this cabinet. Now, I went on to the DIY, like I said, the DIY arcade, retro arcade website, and it was great. And I ordered this kit, and it came, and it was the wrong size. Before we get to my snafu, I do want to say that the reason why I had always, since my dream of owning any of these arcade 1-ups, especially the Street Fighters. Now I have 2 Street Fighter 2 Gen 1 cabinets, and you're kind of asking, why do you have 2? One was a gift to me, and the other one I bought for the church. So both of them are up here. So mine, I thought, well, let's mod it. I always play my son, who's now 16, and we play Street Fighter against each other all the time. But he's left-handed, and we're in the 3/4 scale cabinets. It's just cramped a little bit, and so I thought, let's make a huge deck that's about the size of a regular arcade, maybe a little bit bigger, maybe actually probably about the size of the same arcade. And so what I did is I went on to Etsy and I got the vinyl for the actual control deck. And then I mapped out all the buttons, and the only thing I had to get was a 3/4-inch drill so that I could put the power button for the Pandora's box into it, and it worked perfectly. And so I mapped up all the things and I put it all in. I put the guts in. I hooked up the Pandora's box and I hooked it up to my amplifier, and everything worked great. Now, I do want to make mention of the one thing that I did have to do that was people might have a little bit of a tough time doing is I actually had to cut into the arcade one-up on the sides. Because for the first player, when you put the big control deck on, the actual joystick, all the guts underneath sit right on top of the arcade one-up. So I had to cut into the arcade one-up, and I had to do that on the on the second player button. So I had to make room. So when it sits in, it sits flat and flush where it's supposed to. But I had to cut into it, which shouldn't really be a problem unless you're trying to resell these things, which I'm not. I'm just enjoying them. At least right now, I'm probably going to be like, why did I do that? But no, it was a great addition, because to me, the deck is really what makes it. It's so much fun to play these fighting games like Tekken 3 on there, or Street Fighter 3 Alpha, Third Strike, Street Fighter Zero. Like these are great games, fighting games. All the SNK games that I have on my MVSX, I can play on there as well. So we can have two games going on at the same time. So it's just it's a fun addition to have that deck. So after I hooked everything up, and I apologize, my heater's going on because it's cold in Southern California and I'm a pansy. I put everything is all together. I fired it on. It takes a little while for Pandora's box, a lot longer than an arcade one-up does to boot up, or even the At Games cabinet that I have. It takes a lot longer. So once it boots up, I was able to play it. All of my dream arcade games. Now this has games like Super Sprint, Super Off-Road. It has games like Bust a Move. It has basically everything except two games that I really want, maybe three. The two games that I'm really looking for were Spy Hunter. I was looking for Qbert, and I did not see the game that I want the most, which was Toobin'. Now I know Toobin' you can get on the actual Mortal Kombat Anniversary Cab. I know it's on there, but I was hoping that it would be on this Pandora's box. I haven't found it. If anybody knows where it's if it's under a different name, please let me know. But it's just a dream come true to have all these arcades. Now this cabinet, now I have access to play Super Zax on. I have pole position 1 and 2. It's like I said, Super Off-Road, Super Sprint. I mean, these games are incredible. I would never have been able to play these unless I was porting it onto my computer, which I like standing up at a cabinet and playing it on a cabinet. Now, don't get me wrong, there's something special about just a few games on a cabinet, right? My favorite cabinet that I have, one of my favorites that I go to play all the time, is my Galaga cabinet. It just says Galaga, it has Galaga and Galaxian on it, and I love them. I do. I play that all the time. And I might mod the controls, but it's just as is. It's plain, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. I haven't even done a lit up marquee, which people are like, why haven't you done that yet? Well, because I like having multiple arcades and I spend my money towards new ones. But it's just a fun thing that I enjoy doing, and I think the Pandora's box really kind of creates this open reality where you have so many games that you can play, and one day I'm like, you know what, I really feel like Super Sprint. You know, I used to play it, I want to play it again. I really feel like playing that, and now I can just practice on Street Fighter 3 Alpha Third Strike. I mean, that's pretty gorgeous and beautiful that I can actually play those games now. And the other reason why is because of the control deck. I really wanted a bigger control deck. So if you're still watching this, thank you. Thank you for watching. I do want to give a shout out to Gamers Reckoning. I love that channel. I love the guy. He's a great guy. I haven't shouted him out for a little while. Biggie D's Arcade is another channel that I would encourage you guys to go check out. And then most of you guys who are probably subscribed to this channel are also subscribed to Big Kong from Kongs R Us. But if perchance there's one or two of you that aren't, please go check out his channel. He is the master of modding cabinets. He's the master of a lot of stuff. He has a lot of hookups within the Arcade 1-Up community, and I think you'll really enjoy his channel as well. So for that, thanks so much. Keep outrunning the neon sun. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.